All right, what is going on? Welcome. You may be in a different time zone, different area code, different city, different state, different country, but this information is meant for anyone, anywhere. And the reason that it's meant for you is because you showed up. How many people know that the biggest part of anything is showing up? It doesn't matter what it is. You can't achieve anything in any area of life without showing up. And that's when you show up, you automatically beat about 80% of people. And that's crazy. That's the difference in altering our lives. That's the difference in changing our futures. That's the difference in becoming more. That's the difference in leveling up. That's the difference in increasing. That's the difference in becoming successful. That is the difference in us becoming more, doing more, having more, seeing more, experiencing more, and also being able to contribute more. That's a huge deal. That means so much. So, I'm glad to be able to be here, to be able to share information that I know is critical because I've applied it to my life and it's helped me tremendously. It's helped me in every single area of my life. And, man, if you would have known who I was before I learned some of the things that I'll be sharing with you, you will have so much hope for yourself. You'll have so much belief in yourself. You'll know that you're so much of a possibility. And that's what life's about. Life is ultimately about changing your life, impacting your life, making a difference in your life, learning as much wisdom, knowledge, information, and filling your cup with so much that you're able to fill the cups of others who are like-minded, who want more, and they just don't know where to find it at. Because that's how it happened for me. The people that I have surrounded myself with over the years, I prayed for them. I wanted them to become a part of my life. I just know that the only way to become better was by surrounding myself with the right people. So association is priceless. Association is everything. And growing up, I remember when I was a child, I remember my father telling me, and I felt like he was just nosy, who's that? Who are their parents? I need to meet them before you can go do anything, before you can hang out with them, before you guys can go do anything. We just had to know. And who are those friends and why are you hanging out with them? And what's up with them? What's their story? And so, my dad told me when I was very young, hey, one of the biggest choices you're going to have to make is the people who you choose to hang around with. Like they say, the 5 people you text message the most, the 5 people that you have the most conversation with, that's who you are or that's who you're becoming. They have another saying, hang around with 5 millionaires, you become the 6th millionaire. How many people think that's true? Look at co-workers that you may have, jobs that you may have worked. You get to work without knowing anybody. Next thing you know, those are your friends. You clock out, you go hang out with them. You go do things with them. You guys, your families end up knowing each other. You end up collectively agreeing with things and going to create new experiences and life together. And that's just how it happens. Well, what if it was a business environment? Now you're learning business. What if it's school, your clique in school, the people you hang around with? If you played sports, no matter what it is, within that group on your sports team, certain people you're going to hang out with, certain people you're not. And then the people that you hang out with, the things they're into, you're probably going to be exposed to it. So what if I were to tell you that one of the major keys to leveling up, one of the keys to success, one of the keys to having the best life possible is about your association, is about your choice of who you choose to hang out with and align yourself with, because thoughts are things and conversation is everything. So you might sit down, depending on the level of frequency that you're operating in, you might sit down and talk to somebody and nothing that they say is aligned with what you want. I mean, nothing. That's why there's so much argument about politics and all these different things. You might think somebody's cool, or this is what's crazy. Like right now, people will decide, hey, if you're in this political party, if you have this type of religious belief, if you like that type of food, or you believe these type of people should be doing this or that or whatever, don't even talk to me. What? You're just completely closing off potential relationships that could take you anywhere in the world, the place that you actually want to go, the life that you want, but you close that door based off of being closed-minded. You know what they say, if a parachute doesn't work unless it's open, right? So imagine closing your parachute, you're just going to keep falling. And that's the direction that so many people fall into. Well, how do you change that? How do you alter that? Well, you alter that by becoming open-minded. You alter that. You change that by being around the right people. You change that by attracting and having the right types of conversations. You alter your destination. You alter your path. You alter your future. You even alter your journey, your mindset, your thoughts. You alter everything by having an open mind, by deciding what type of person you want to be, what direction you want to go, how big you want your life to be, all those things. No matter what area, it's all unlimited for every single one of us. And I want you to pay attention, because as our story evolves and continues to change, the people around you will absolutely stand still, and they will sit in awe of what you've been able to accomplish, who you've been able to become. And guess what? They won't even get around you to ask you, well, how are you doing that? How are you becoming who you're becoming? Why are you becoming that? And can you show me how to get to that space also? Because now people got to compare themselves. Now they got to think to themselves, you know, what happened with me? What's wrong with me? Well, why couldn't I do it? Well, guess what? Everyone can do it. That's the thing about not having limitations. That's about us being born possibilities. Some people you might look at and say, well, how did they end up there, or how did they end up there? Well, that goes to, are you a product of your environment, or you're a product of your influence? See, because people inside of those environments, they're not a product of the environment. They become a product of the influences. That's why we get success stories from every area, a walk of life, every ethnicity. The toughest stories, the best stories you can think of, that's how it happens. Well, guess what? It can happen with you. It can literally happen with you. You could be the change, and then share the story, have the testimony to be able to encourage others. That's what it's all about, right? So I hope that somebody got something out of this, because there's going to be so much more information. We're going to do so many different things that are going to add value, that are going to give to you, that are going to elevate you, that are going to lift you up, that are going to help you increase, that are going to help you change your possibilities into realities to be whoever, whatever you want, and live in the truth, not have to go try to be something, do something, or chase something because of what you can get from it, but because that's what's inside of you. So, because we're all born with a gift. Now that gift that's inside of you, you can't be ashamed of your gift. That gift inside of you is something that just happens with you, for you. It just naturally, it's effortless for you, and it's challenging for most. That's your gift. The gift is supposed to be shared and given away. And that's what I'm doing. So check this out. Somebody you know may have needed to hear this, but you try to tell them and they don't listen. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. You're telling me something else again. And they don't want to hear it from us. And it's crazy, but we're doing it out of love, because we want them to increase. We want them to elevate. We want them to become better. Now, you don't have to share this you don't have to have this conversation with them. All you have to do is share my words. Give it to them, pour it into them. And guess what? They're going to thank you for it. And then they're going to start talking to you about it. And when you see that change in them, just be grateful and just pay it forward. Do the same thing. But ultimately, there's a way for everyone to get what they want. Anyways, that's my time. Miss Over Million Serve. Thank you so much. Take care.